The biggest box office bomb every year since the 70s.
Every year since the 70s, Hollywood managed to greenlight something dumber, uglier, and more expensive than the last. She was 85 years old, nearly dead, disoriented, and so far gone that crew members had to crouch behind the furniture holding cue cards just to get her through a scene.
This poor woman.
None of her dialogue could be salvaged. Every line was dubbed in post, and not even by her.
What? This is so sad. They just cavort grandma around the stage. She doesn't know where she is or what she's doing. And then great movie, Meemaw. That's insane.
Final box office haul was less than 50 grand.
It didn't even make $50,000.
Michael Cimino, fresh off The Deer Hunter, was given complete control.
Holy shit. $3.5 million.
What followed was one of the most chaotic productions in Hollywood history. He forced an extra to shave between takes just to reset beard continuity. He shot over 1.3 million feet of film, the equivalent of 220 hours of raw footage.
Oh my God.
The original cut
is
of the
that
movie
Christopher
film,
Walken?
the equivalent of 220 hours of raw footage.
It is. It's weird to see him young. He's another person that I would thought was born old, you know?
This was meant to be Coppola's big comeback. What it turned into was an FBI-level disaster. The original cut ran 2.5 hours and gave equal weight to the black and white characters, but producer Robert Evans demanded it be recut to push the black cast into the background. The whole thing spiraled. One of the private investors was later murdered. The project got tangled in an FBI investigation involving drugs, Ponzi schemes, and an alleged murder-for-hire plot.
Jesus Christ! I've never heard of that movie either. That's intriguing. Somebody needs to make a movie about that movie.
This Revolutionary War epic was doomed the moment someone
Pacino, bro? Wait, what is that box office? Wait, what?
He refused to wear proper footwear, so the crew just shot him from the knees up. Director Hugh Hudson only had 3 months to rewrite and shoot the whole
I'm not wearing the fucking boots!
thing. The reviews were brutal. One critic
Give me my
called it the
Converses!
worst performance of Pacino's career. The budget was $28 million. After this, Pacino vanished from acting for 4 years.
He disappeared. Pacino is crazy.
This was Marvel's first theatrical movie.
I didn't know this
produced
one.
by George
I didn't know
Lucas,
this one.
And it is.
Hey, that's a profit. It's a profit. Number go up. That's $1 million. Wait, what did I just say?
$1 million.
What? How much did this movie make?
The animatronic duck suit barely worked. It needed 4 puppeteers just to move the face.
I wish Howard was around and not Deadpool. I know Deadpool does much better and nobody would fuck with this, but if we gotta have one goofy, stupid series, it's him. To me.
But instead, the movie bombed so hard that Frank Price resigned as Universal's president right after it opened.
It's gotta be so hard to forecast this shit, man. You just put something out and you're like, I think this will work. I think this will work. And then opening weekend comes and you're like, oh shit! I was wrong! Take it back! Oh, it's already out there now, bro. Oh shit!
Terry Gilliam went full chaos on this one.
The Adventures of Baron Munchausen?
Crew stopped getting paid.
What the fuck is
Robin
this?
Williams demanded his name be taken off the credits.
This shit is ass. Take me out the movie. We can't take you out the movie, Robin. You're the sun or something. You're Spaceman.
This was the year Clint Eastwood said yes to a movie just so the studio would leave his passion project alone.
Dude, being an actor must suck. He literally did a bounty. Yeah, exactly. He didn't have to do that. I mean, listen, if I was an actor, I'd be doing Nick Cage shit. I'd be popping bounties. I love doing bounties. It's fine with me. But if you want to be like if I was a prestigious streamer, right? If I wanted to be taken seriously as a streamer, then I wouldn't do it. I think that's what he wants. Jeff Goldblum has to shill apartments and stuff. You know what made me sad was seeing John Goodman in that AI, not AI, but in the gambling ad that we saw where he was a thumb. Why did John Goodman do that? I love John Goodman. He was so good in 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Brian De Palma got completely steamrolled here. He was forced to cast Tom Hanks in a role that was supposed to be a smug, arrogant Wall Street guy. But since it was Hanks, they rewrote the character to be likable. Morgan Freeman replaced a Jewish judge from the book because the studio thought they needed to balance the cast.
Is that a bald cap? That's either a very unfortunate wrinkle or the most obvious cap I've ever seen. Oh my god.
Bruce Willis was so unbearable on set, the crew called him the virus. Bruce Willis managed to follow one disaster with another. He co-wrote
Dude,
the
Bruce
script,
Willis is
rewrote
bombing
scenes during
now.
filming, and insisted on timing everything to swing music.
Hudson Hawk is
Even
insane.
the
I've never heard it.
action.
Or I've heard of it, but I've never seen
If
it.
it was a
But
comedy-
if it's stupid, I want to watch it.
An action flick, or a musical, so they just did all three.
Wait, what?
By day 2, the crew was calling it Bruce's Vanity Bomb. It made $7
It's like a
million
cartoon.
opening weekend, got shredded by critics, and never recovered. This one should have been a hit. The first film
Bro, I can't believe this movie didn't go crazy. I liked this movie as a kid. That
was a
camp
box
scene is
office
tremendous.
success.
It's very
Critics
good.
liked the sequel even.
Also, what the fuck is this? This is a fucked up scene, by the way. This character, the Fester's wife or whatever, is crazy in a kid's movie.
Paramount completely torpedoed it. They dropped it
Debbie?
in
That's her
theaters
name?
just
I wanted to say Debbie, but I wasn't sure.
1 week after Mrs. Doubtfire.
The older I get, the more I appreciate, like, Addams Family. It's like one of those things that you kind of take for granted as a kid. Also, like, Raul Julia, or whatever his name is, however you pronounce it, is so fucking good. I really wish he stuck around.
Test screenings scored even higher than the original, but it didn't matter.
I can't
At
believe
the
this
box
movie
office,
bombed.
It made less than half of what the first film did.
Because the first movie went crazy. I wonder if it came out, like, a year after. Like, it was too soon, you know?
This one's a weird, offensive mess.
Dude, when I was a kid, I had a couple VHS tapes with North, like, the trailer on it. But, like, everybody's in this fucking movie. Jason Alexander, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, like, the whole gimmick is a kid leaves his parents and just travels the world, I think.
That's about a boy shopping for new parents.
That's what it is. Elijah
But
Wood.
Rob
This movie
Reiner-
has so many, like, stars in
Reiner
it.
saw it coming. He literally
Roger
asked
Ebert
critics to go
hated it.
easy before the movie even came out. Roger Ebert gave it 0 stars and wrote, "I hated this movie. Hated every simpering, stupid, vacant."
But I thought it was so cool because it's like, damn, Dan Aykroyd, Reba McEntire, like they're, you know, they got a lot of stars in this movie, and it's a cool story about a kid like trying to find new parents. I thought it'd be cool. I don't know.
Where do we even begin with this one? Rennie
Right.
Harlan fired the original male lead right before filming.
Bro, Gina Davis has been in a lot of bad movies. I'm like learning some actors just have terrible careers, like Bruce Willis, and you know, like, jeez, man.
Sets collapsed. The monkey bit Davis. MGM ran out of money halfway
This
through
fuck-ass
the
monkey,
marketing campaign,
ow!
so the posters were printed in black and white.
Wait, what?
MGM ran out of money halfway through the marketing campaign, so the posters were printed in black and white.
That can happen? That's insane. I didn't know that was like the same department. That must be why it failed. They're like, this is a black and white movie? It's 1995, bro. Turn the graphics down.
Oprah put her own money into Beloved and refused to take studio notes. First test screening,
Never heard of this.
half the audience walked out. Then it opened against Bride of Chucky and got steamrolled.
You lost the Bride of Chucky? Bride of Chucky is on. You're seated for Beloved and you hear somebody scream in the next theater. Wait, is that Bride of Chucky?
This one ended an entire animation studio.
Right.
Fox had no faith.
Wasn't this Don Bluth's last thing?
Brad Bird was offered the script and passed immediately. Called it dead on arrival.
Damn, Brad Bird said that? The Incredibles guy? Shit. Oh, God, you should listen to him. I mean, okay,
Glenn
this
Bird
looks
was offered the
ass
script, had
now,
no faith.
but if I saw this in... I did see it in 2000. I don't remember being impressed. Never mind. I was trying to do that thing where I was like, bro, if I saw this back then, I was literally 11 back then. I did see it, and I didn't care.
Square spent 4 years trying to make a photorealistic CGI movie with no real connection to the games. The movie bombed so badly, Square canceled their Hollywood division, shut down their animation studio in Hawaii, and had to merge with Enix just to survive.
Wait, really? This movie did the Enix merge? I didn't know that. I knew that Square used to be its own thing because it was Squaresoft or it was just Square. Like, if you go back and look at the old stuff, but I didn't know that that's made... Because, like, I was like, who the fuck is Enix?
Pluto Nash kicked off a whole streak of flops for Eddie Murphy.
Right, dude, poor Eddie Murphy, bro. Dude, I watched, like, some of Eddie Murphy's old stuff. He is so fucking funny and charismatic and likable. Like, what happened?
Shot in 2000, shelved for 2 years, and quietly dumped
He spent
in
the
August
2000s just being
2002.
in shitty movies.
Cost $100 million.
It's so funny how, like, comedy actors have very short shelf lives. Like Dana Carvey, who, like, is legitimately, like, an extremely funny person, did like Wayne's World, and then he started doing like Master of Disguise. It's like, Dana, what are you doing, man? Like, Mike Myers was Austin Powers, and then he did fucking Love Guru or whatever. It's like, man, what do you... Stop. Mike Myers was Cat in the Hat, too. Yeah.
How much did they pay to get Ludwig to narrate this video?
Doesn't even sound like... Well...
And quietly dumped in August 2002.
Okay, it actually does sound like him. I was gonna be annoyed by you, because I'm like, dude, stop. It's just a guy that you know. It doesn't sound like it. But now...
Kicked off a whole streak of flops for Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're spitting.
Shot in 2000,
I'll give it up. I'll give it up.
2 years and quietly dumped in August.
It does. It does.
Cost $100 million.
I'll give it up. Now you fucked up my brain. I hear it now.
By the time it limped into theaters,
sucks.
Murphy didn't even bother promoting it. Years later, he said the only reason he did it was because he bought a house with the check.
A bounty. He did a bounty. Yeah.
Sony tried to keep the budget a secret until after opening weekend. Smart move. Because this movie was a total write-off. An AI drone learns to love music and then starts murdering people. It had a big cast. Jamie Foxx,
Awesome.
Jessica Biel, Josh Lucas. Didn't matter. It opened in 4th place behind Wedding Crashers, Sky High, and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Damn. What a brutal weekend. That's a crazy weekend at the box office.
The most expensive comedy ever made. And that record still stands.
That bombed? Oh, I'm thinking of Bruce Almighty. Okay. I was like, Bruce Almighty was huge, but Evan is the sequel, right? How old is Steve Carell? Here he was 45. You know what was crazy to me to find out the other day? I was watching The Critic again, and I was like, wait a minute. How old is Jay Sherman? I am the same age as Jay Sherman. It's fucking me now. Now, to be fair, that's a rough 36. This is a rough 36. I think I came out better.
The Wachowskis wanted to make something bold with...
I've heard this movie is good. This movie is great. I'll have to watch it.
The movie looked like an arcade machine exploded on screen. And while critics praised the visuals, most agreed the story was a mess. Years later, Emil Hirsch admitted he didn't know what was going on half the time during production. And you can tell.
I mean, this feels like a 2001, 2002 movie.
This one was marketed as a Christmas movie for kids. And it had
Right.
Nazi rats, sharks, a singing Albert Einstein, and absolutely no ballet.
What?
It's not surprising it couldn't find its audience.
It had what?
The director credited Tchaikovsky.
Nathan Lane is Albert Einstein? Why is Nathan Lane Albert Einstein? What the fuck is that?
The result? $16 million at the box office against a $90 million budget.
I told you guys, man, like, Christmas movies you're going for a crit build. Because your movie, if it's probably going to fail because there's a million Christmas movies. But if you land one, like, cultural, if you just sort of thread that needle, you get a Home Alone. And you're going to be played every year for the rest of your life. If you nail that crit, it doesn't matter how good or bad your movie is, you're set forever. But, like, it's the same way that, like, Elf on the Shelf is now an expectation for parents. Elf on the Shelf is still a thing? Yes. Big. Because the thing is, all the kids talk about it. So, like, my kid goes into school, and they're like, what did your elf do? What did your elf bring you? Blah, blah, blah. And then it becomes, that's viral marketing, man. Doesn't Santa do Elf on a Shelf? No, stupid. The elf comes to life in the middle of the night. The elf watches you to make sure if you're good or bad, and you put the elf up high so the kid can't touch it, because if you touch them, then their magic goes away. It's Toy Story, yes.
Mars Needs Moms held the title for the worst box office return of any Disney movie ever made.
Disney had this really weird phase where they're like, what the fuck are you guys doing? They had like Chicken Little and Meet the Robinsons and this. It's like, what the fuck are you? Stop. They made a movie about cows. It's like, what's your fucking problem, man? Stop. The first movie I cried to. You must have a very good relationship with your mother. That's beautiful.
Seth Green played the lead kid, but they dubbed over his voice with a
This movie would always play in my doctor's office when I was a kid. Come in for another shot. Mars Needs Mom again? Huh, can't we get something else? Let's put on Bolt. Can I watch Bolt? Somebody asked what my favorite Disney era is. Hold on. Honestly, I think this stretch is pretty fucking good. Not a fan of Hunchback? You're stupid. That's a good fucking movie. I mean, again, this was the weird time because they put out Lilo and Stitch, which is excellent. And then they're like, Treasure Planet, Brother Bear, cow movie, chicken movie, Robinsons, weird time travel shit, dog. And then they're like, okay, never mind, we're gonna make a good movie again. Never mind, hold on, we're gonna go back. Hold on, here's a good movie, here's a good movie. And then they made good stuff again. Holy shit. I watched Ratatouille again recently, and Ratatouille kind of pisses me off because you suspend your disbelief, and you're like, all right, the rat controls him. And then it's like, okay, the rat controls him, and then bring in other rats. Okay, the rat controls him and brings in other rats, and people are cool with it. All right, the rat controls him and brings in other rats, and people are cool, and then the critic finds out, and he's cool. What the fuck are you talking about? Stop! Stop! It's too much. You're doing too much.
Legends of Oz pulled in just $3.7
What
million
is
in its
this?
opening weekend.
This
finishing
shit
with a
looked like
worldwide total
Netflix.
That didn't even crack a third of its production budget.
I've never
wasn't
even
just a
heard
flop.
it.
It was a scam. The voice cast, Dan Aykroyd, Patrick Stewart, the works, recorded their lines
Patrick
with no
Stewart.
context, no footage, nothing.
Okay. Patrick Stewart does anything. Every time I hear him in American Dad, I'm like, why is he doing this? Why is he doing a TV? Is he not, like, super famous? What the fuck is this?
Studio execs pitched this one as a dark reboot with a Moulin Rouge vibe. What they delivered was Hugh Jackman.
God, I hate Moulin Rouge. I hate that fucking movie. Here he goes again. Bro, it's been like a year since I talked about Moulin Rouge. Okay? That string has been unpulled for a long time. I hate that movie.
Director Joe Wright later admitted he still has no idea what the movie was supposed to be. The result was a prequel to Peter Pan.
You made the movie!
$150 million and made even less.
What do you mean? I hate jukebox musicals. They're ass! Look how cute I can be by stringing 3 songs together.
Supposed to
Ain't no way this is real.
be the next Lego movie. It turned out to be a 90-minute commercial with no jokes, no style, and no direction.
That's crazy. They made that?
Daniel Radcliffe voiced a spy character who sings and dances like he's in a bad Fortnite knockoff.
Why?
On opening weekend in the US, it made just $670,000. That's across more than 2,000
Dude.
screens. Lowest per theater average ever for a wide release.
Who the fuck is gonna go see the Playmobil movie?
There's no single flop to point to in 2020. The whole industry
Well,
went off a cliff.
I guess
Thanks
so.
to the pandemic, most major releases either went straight to streaming or sat on the
That's
shelf.
kind of okay. Yeah.
Studios lost hundreds of millions across the
Forgot
board.
about that. It would have been this one though. Why did he do this, dude? He was Tony Stark. Dude is Iron Man. He's like, that's it. I'm talking to animals now.
Mulan, Wonder Woman.
Why did he do
1984,
that?
Doolittle, Tenet.
He needed money. He was Iron Man.
For the second year in a row, Disney claimed the biggest
Oh.
box office disaster. The Marvels wasn't just a flop. It was the first sign the MCU might actually be running out of steam. Brie Larson filmed most of her scenes without a full script.
This
She
shit
filmed
right here.
most of her scenes without a full.
I thought that was a weed leaf. I was like, damn, Bree. Legalize it. Legalize it now! Or else.
The original Joker made over $1 billion
Was that a flop, though? I guess it is a flop comparatively. Yeah.
and won Joaquin Phoenix an Oscar. A sequel was
Sure.
guaranteed.
Do you think this movie will age well? Do you think people will look back at this and be like, oh, maybe we were too harsh? No? It's bad. I liked Joker. I was like, yeah, this is pretty good. Obviously, I wasn't like, wow, this is literally me, society, whatever. Or on the other side, we're like, we gotta ban this movie because somebody might do something. Like, I thought it was like, okay, I get it. But the problem is, it's just like fucking Taxi Driver. Like, it wears its influences like so hard, and Taxi Driver is just really fucking good, man. Like, wow, good list. We spent a long time on that. Good heavens, do highest. How about we watch later, bro? I'll pop a watch later, maybe.